PS performance. So today I'm going to talk about the barbell deadlift. Okay, so one of the previous videos I talked about some of the compound lifts. It's also known as some of the core lifts. So if you haven't seen that video already, go back and watch that, because in that video I talk about some of the techniques and the cues to create stability and some of the different positions that relate to this deadlift position. So some of the words I might use or some of the phrases I might use you may not understand, so in that video it explains it. So with the barbell deadlift, what's really important in deadlift in general, so this actually goes with no matter any kind of deadlift, I'm thinking about bending my waist more than my knees. So while I do have flex or bend in my knees, I'm thinking about bending at the waist more. So this does not mean that I'm flexing just at the low back and I'm picking up the weight with my back. I want to create stability from the get-go, from the top, establishing a flat or neutral back. And then as I bend forward, I don't change that posture at all. So there should be no change from when I start from the top in this neutral position to whenever I come forward. So one way I can practice that is actually with my hands. I can do body weight deadlift. So I'm going to put my hands right here, and my hands are flat, and my belly button at my sternum. So if I have any change of flexion or overextension, then my hands are going to go apart. They're no longer going to be parallel to each other. So I put my hands right here, get neutral from the start, then I get into the position, and my hands, aka my back, should not change one bit. So that's one way to practice making sure we're in the right position over time. So let's go over the setup here. The setup with our feet moving up is our feet are about hip width apart. So if I drew a straight line from my hips to the ground, that's about the width of my feet. And because we're athletes, we want to think about our feet being straight forward most of the time, so we can go a little bit of a toe out. But for the most part, when we're athletes, we run with our feet straight ahead, we jump with our feet straight ahead, so we want to reinforce that good mechanic. So our toes are going to be pretty straight ahead. From there, this barbell is going to be set right over the middle part of my foot, so it's basically cutting my foot in half. And then I'm making sure that I'm screwing my feet in the ground, squeezing my butt. My stomach is on and tight. My shoulders are back and down. And I can even open my hands up, because that allows me to get my shoulders in a really, really good position. And then from there, my head is neutral. So I can think about making a double chin or keeping my chin at the same position with my neck the entire time. So this would be shoot the neck back, or it could be make a double chin. So I want to stay in that posture with all those different positions throughout the entire movement. This allows us to be safe, make sure that we're in the right spot. Okay? When I'm picking this weight up, I should start neutral, and when I go down to pick it up, I should stay there. So I should not, I call it a mistake, grab the weight and try to get tight at the bottom, and then lift the weight. We want to go ahead and establish neutral and a straight posture from the top, and then we can get to the position at the bottom and start moving the weight up. So one other thing, whenever I'm doing this movement, is this deadlift bar, or this barbell, should be moving in a straight line up and down, for the most part. There may be a little bit of a variance there. For the most part, the barbell, we're looking for it to move straight up and straight back down. And so what that means is, I want to keep the barbell close to my body. So we're trying to keep it as close to my body as possible throughout the entire lift. Okay? So what this looks like really quickly, and I'll describe a little bit more of what's going on. I'll just show you a few reps. It looks just like this. Feet are screwed, butt squeezed, stomach tight, shoulders back and down, head's neutral, get down to the position. Hands are going right outside my shoulders, sitting the butt down, lifting straight up. One more time, straight up. Okay, so one of the things that's important is, especially at the top, I want to make sure to really squeeze my glutes together at the top. So that's the main thing we're thinking about in this movement, is the back side of the legs. So this is called the posterior chain. And the glutes is a big, big prime mover in this lift. So while I'm keeping the bar really close to my body, I should not be skinning my shins necessarily. So it's really common that athletes will pull right at their shins and they'll get scraping their shins. So we want to keep it close to the shins, but not necessarily scraping our shins. And then notice too, so I'm going to show you from the side. So watch this from the side. How I'm keeping this bar close to my body, and I'm remaining flat at the back, or at least should be remaining flat at the back. So, let's see if this bar can stay here for a second. Alright. So, setup is the same. straight up. Squeeze the butt top, squeeze the butt top. And on the way down, I'm also keeping it close to my thighs. It's even sliding down my thighs. And I go down the same way. So obviously there's a lot more pieces to this movement. It's very, very complex. Those are a few things to get you started. Some ways to make sure that we're stable and tight and safe. So once again, this is the Barbell Deadlift. I'm Ryan Bottger with Pro Sports and PS Performance. Subscribe to that.